Tennessee Republican Rep. Andy Ogles sharply criticized a far-left transgender group that he said is attempting to portray the Nashville school shooter as a martyr. Following the Covenant school shooting that left 3 children and 3 adults dead, the Radical Trans Resistance Network issued a statement calling it a dual tragedy for the victims and their families, along with the transgender shooter, 28-year-old Audrey Hale. Any attempt to turn a mass murderer into a martyr is beyond disturbing, Ogles, who represents the community where the shooting happened, told Fox News Digital. The notion that someone would try to justify this atrocity disgusts me to my core. March 27, 2023, was not a dual tragedy as this radical group wrote, Ogles said. It was a targeted attack on children attending a Christian school perpetrated by a hate-filled domestic terrorist. There is no place for accepting or justifying the actions of the Covenant school shooter. Ogles' remarks come after the Trans Resistance Network broke its pledge of not engaging publicly with the news media to release a statement arguing the shootings amounted to 2 tragedies, and that Hale had no other effective way to be seen. The first tragedy today is the loss of the 3 children and adults, the group said in its message. We extend our deepest sympathies and heartfelt prayers to those families dealing with the loss of loved ones. There is nothing we can offer that will comfort the hurt, or ease the sorrow. We will mourn with you. The second and more complex tragedy is that Aiden, the shooter's preferred name, or Aubrey Hale, who felt he had no effective way to be seen than to lash out by taking the life of others, and by consequence, himself. The group added it does not claim to know the individual or have access to their inner thoughts and feelings, but it does know that life for transgender people is very difficult, and made more difficult in the preceding months by a virtual avalanche of anti-trans legislation and public callouts by right-wing personalities and political figures for nothing less than the genocidal eradication of trans people from society. Many transgender people deal with anxiety, depression, thoughts of suicide, and PTSD from the near-constant drumbeat of anti-trans hate, lack of acceptance from family members and certain religious institutions, denial of our existence, and calls for detransition and forced conversion. The group claimed. It later added that hate has consequences. According to its website, TRN is a collective of experienced organizers, committed allies, and concerned groups who are coming together for the long-term survival and well-being of gender-diverse people in a more extreme environment. Nashville police on Monday identified the 6 people killed in the shooting as 9-year-olds, Evelyn Deekhouse, William Kinney and Hallie Scruggs, and Mike Hill, 61, Cynthia Peak, 61, and Catherine Kuntz, 60. Kuntz was the head of the school, Peak was a substitute teacher and Hill was a custodian. Hale, a former student of the Covenant School, entered the premises Monday with 2 assault-type rifles and a handgun and began firing, police said.